Hey everybody, welcome to the Combo Wombo podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Gimpy, joined by the one, the only, the irreverent Chipped Monk. What's up, bro?
What's happening, man?
I had to throw the irreverent there, dude. You've been talking some wild shit
Yeah.
off the pod. I don't
Hitting
know
us-
if I can contain you.
Like Bon Jovi's
Yeah, like-
1982 album, Slippery When Wet, dude. I'm out here
It's a
slick
very
with it.
specific reference. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
That's how I remember it. I don't know if the date's right or anything, but it rolls off the tongue. So
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
yeah, I'll just hold on to it.
How's the start of your August been, bro? It's
Been hot, dude.
no
Guess what,
shit.
dude?
yeah,
Hot, dude. I've been throwing on the AC, been trying to stay cool in here.
yeah.
I was telling you about this at the pod where it's like, it keeps like it kills my allergies just because it's like on a stack, and I don't know. I have like an air purifier and stuff. It's never enough.
Never. Yeah. No, I'm the same way, bro. It's
I feel like I'm getting weak in my old age,
because of
getting
the
soft.
Canadian wildfires. I've had to change my like in-home filter more often than ever before.
Canada
And,
needs to get its shit together, dude.
Yeah, right. No shit. But
You need to go in there and clear out that old dead brush, dude.
the last time I changed the
Control
filter a couple
burns.
weeks ago, I know about to sneeze, so maybe I'm talking a bunch of shit. But the last time I changed it, it's been a lot better.
That's
but,
what you get for talking shit about Canada, bro. Guess
Right.
what, dude?
Yeah.
Get that
but
Canuck.
yeah, dude, I gotta say, like I got an air purifier going on in the
snizzles.
background. I got I just changed the filters. It's been okay lately. Like the first couple
Yeah.
weeks, fucking killed me. But it is what it is, man. You gotta Canada slowly attacking us.
Yeah, dude. This fucking natural. I don't know. What's it? What's the term I'm looking for? It's not biological warfare. It's chemical warfare, maybe. I don't know.
I think it'd be, I mean, I guess fire.
They're
is
sending
something,
bears
chemical
and bees and
reaction,
shit
but yeah,
after us,
it's-
dude.
Yeah, right. No shit. The bears and bees in their mouths, and when they yell, they shoot
Burning-
bees at you.
Burning that cool Canadian timber, dude.
Yeah.
Them cedar trees out there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. But that part's been rough. But other than that, man, gotta say, August is going to be. There's two big heavy hitting releases and one heavy hitting beta happening this month, man. Just round of applause and a shout out to Larian Studios for a successful launch of Baldurs Gate 3. It is
Yeah.
out of early access. At the time of this recording, they have over 700,000 people concurrently playing.
A
Baldur's
lot of
Gate
people
3
have been
at the
waiting
time.
for this game, dude. Baldur's Gate's a beloved franchise.
Yeah, and it's been in early access for I feel like 4 years, maybe.
Yeah.
So hats off to those guys. I didn't get the early access version because I didn't want to. It's for me to play early access to like a mostly single player oriented game is just like counting your chickens before they hatch to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what if this is not in the game? What if or if like this is the story so far and I'm just waiting for the next thing and I'm waiting for like years.
You're
That
getting
just-
drizzled that story out,
I
dude.
just I just couldn't handle it.
Like
So
a web novel reader.
my choice was to like wait till it's done. And it's
Yeah.
done. It's done now, but I haven't bought the game. Because it's the other side of the foot of the coin, dude. The game is said to be over 100 hours just by default, and it's like too daunting
Yeah.
for me.
Just
I
the
don't know what to-
basics.
Yeah, maybe
I was talking to my buddy who got it, and I was like, "Oh, how's it so far?" He's like, I can't tell you yet." And I was like, "Oh, how long are you into it?" And he's like, "I got about like 3 hours in." I'm like, "Oh, you're not even probably past the tutorial at that point." He's like, "Yeah, I don't think I am actually."
Yeah.
It's a game, dude.
Yeah.
Lots of mechanics, things
Yeah, but
happening on
it's-
screen.
It's absolutely huge and it's absolutely open for everything you can do. There was an article that came out, courtesy of PC Gamer, pretty quickly after launch, where this guy figured out you could stack boxes to get over like this castle wall, like really early in the game where you weren't not supposed to. But the game kind of like thought like, hey, someone's gonna do this, so there's still like quest options available once you get in here. It's just
Yeah.
they're a lot more standoffish to you. I was like,
Yeah, that's what my buddy was telling me. Is like it's really close to like Dungeons and Dragon like 5e rules. Like it's probably like the closest game out there right now with that. And with that, you have like those RPG mechanics where you're like, I want to stack boxes up, and it's like, yeah, go ahead, I guess, roll. Like you're gonna need a lot of boxes to do this. It's like I don't care. I'm gonna spend the next 2 hours gathering up the boxes. And you're like, okay, dude, yeah.
Yeah, but and with that, like I was I said, I'm not a complete like noob on the Baldur's Gate series. I absolutely loved Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2, phenomenal. My sister and I co-opted through the old ones like growing up. Great games, right? So the fact that three's coming and three's being hailed as a great game so far warms my heart. People are like publishers and gaming magazines are always already saying like game of the year, blah blah blah. Too early for me to tell for that, but with the
I
amount
mean,
of
how much
effort put
more
in,
year do you need, bro? We're already in August. Huh?
well, because you got the big releases in November, October.
Is that like what we got coming up, dude?
Spider-Man 2,
Yeah, it's pretty
just off the
good.
top of my head. Armored Core 6 is in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah,
You know,
fucking Armor Core, dude.
yeah. So there's a couple of
I've
games
noticed a
coming out.
direct uptick in
Final Fantasy
mech related
16's already
content.
out. Yeah, there's been an uptick for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
But that being said, man, shout out to the Baldur's Gate guys. Happy it's working. I absolutely love RPGs using the D&D rule set. You know, obviously Knights of the Old Republic, one of my favorite games of all time. The Baldur's Gate series, Planescape Torment, Icewind Dale, those games like all
yeah. Never Winter Nights.
fantastic. Temple of Elemental Evil, if anyone remembers that gem from the early
Fuck yeah.
2000s. It was buggy as hell, but very fun.
Yeah,
So I think that the fact that we're going back to that rule set in a digital manner, I hope to have more games using the D&D rule set. 'Cause I think it's a very very fun mechanically, and it transfers very well digitally.
yeah. We see it like also like the DNA, like going to like these more open world style games, like your Breath of the Wild, where it's like there's like fun interactions that they don't program in, but they're like they just build a rule set and then like let you
Sure.
go play. So you see like all these like cool things happening, like even like in Minecraft with like how people use like redstones and stuff, where it's like, it wasn't really necessarily designed for that, but it was like open enough where you can
Where you can do
do, yeah, yeah.
right.
But you're seeing that more now with like dialogues and interactions with in action RPG games. So it's kind
Yeah.
of cool, man. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Are there even real RPGs anymore, dude? Like I feel like everything's kind of been
On
got a little
PC
bit
there
of.
is. On
I feel
PC.
everything's got a little RPG in it now, dude. A little
True.
RPG
True.
DNA and everything
I
now,
think
dude.
mostly like in the mainstream, it's become more action oriented RPGs. So ARPGs are more akin. There's really very little like turn based traditional RPGs that we know of, right?
Yeah,
But I think on PC, and like Larian being probably the biggest like studio doing old school CRPGs like this with their Divinity series, now with Baldur's Gate. We had Obsidian with their ooh, I'm gonna have to Google it because I can't remember the name of the
all right,
series, but
man.
they had a PC
Yeah.
series. Um,
People beloved that Divinity Original Sins 1 and 2, man.
yes,
Probably
yes.
like,
Pillars of Eternity was the other game I was
oh
thinking of.
yeah,
Um, you know, doing CRPGs very well. Obviously, I haven't played Pillars of Eternity. I own it, but haven't played it yet.
dang.
But then we have other things like that kind of mix the genres, like that aren't really doing too well. Like that Forsaken game that looked really nice by Square Enix, but fell flat on everything.
Yeah,
uh,
dude.
so
It was yeah, it seemed like it had all the ingredients for a game to be made, like a good game.
yes,
I don't
yes.
know. I don't know how to fix that. I've like watched people play through parts of it. I've seen like all the worst highlights of it. Like I
Hmm.
don't. There's nothing necessarily I could point to and be like, this is the problem with that game. I
Yeah,
just kind of look at it, I'm like, man, this kind of it has like a mad cringy feel, and it like seems like they didn't really feel the world with anything to do. And when you make like a world that big, like if they probably like scoped it all the way down to like a single town, and then like you're interacting with like the people of that town to
sure.
like figure out more of the mystery of like how she got there and like why people don't necessarily you know want to deal
Yeah, I
with the
think
people and the
Forsaken
curse
was completely torn
world building.
down as well, and then rebuilt from the ground up in the middle of development. So I think that had
Yeah, like
a lot to
twice.
do with it. Yeah, I think that had a
I think
lot to
they
do with
switched
it.
engines. Yeah.
Yeah, it had a very interesting combat system on paper.
Yeah.
Just done, just like actually doing it just didn't work, and
Dang.
I think it's because of time crunch, and they just were like, "Fuck it."
I haven't
It,
played it,
it,
man.
it was
It looked
a series of good enough
combat
to ship.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't know. We said this. We called this shit. years ago, where we're like, it's gonna be the year of like a really beautiful, bland,
Really
empty
beautiful bland
games.
games. Yeah, we did call that for sure.
I
For
was like,
sure.
this is just like the first of many. Like, I
Yeah,
thought there'd
but
be a lot more by now.
yeah, but that being said, man, I think it's a very good time if you're an RPG fan because you have so many options right now. You have Final Fantasy 16, you have
Yeah,
Starfield coming out in like 2 weeks. You have Baldur's Gate 3. Like you have something from each side of the world, man,
you got something to fill up the void, dude.
something
And
to
summer's right
just
around the corner. You gotta
go
go
for it.
back to school, dude. You fucked.
Yeah, right, right. But you're gonna have
It's
something
time to
to play
drop
with.
out. Start a gang.
Yeah,
Baldur's
so I
Gate.
got so let me get your opinion on this, Chip.
What's up,
The
dude?
three RPGs I've mentioned. Obviously, Final Fantasy 16 is PS5 exclusive, but let's say you had a PS5 for the sake of the argument. Baldur's Gate, PC. Let's say it's primarily on PC, and Starfield. Let's say it's going to be on PC and Xbox. Well, let's just say it's on Xbox. What are you playing out of those three? What are you most interested in?
I don't know, man. Like, I like the idea of the stuff that's out on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Probably Baldur's Gate, dude. Right? Just
Sure.
roll all the way back. Like, fuck it, dude. Like, this seems like the most interesting, most compelling. Even though it's like single player, but then
It's
if I want
co-op
like
as
a
well. It's co-op as
yeah,
well. Yeah.
I got some co-op action in there.
Yep.
Should we
Yep.
play some Baldur's Gate? Are you trying to get me to play
It's such a
Baldur's Gates
commitment,
with you?
bro. Like
Yeah, dude. That's
honestly,
what I'm saying.
yes, but
You gotta
it's gonna
be
take us like
committed to
12
this
months,
shit.
like 10 to 12 months to finish it. You know
This
what I
could
mean?
be
Just
more
like,
commitment than this podcast, dude.
it's more
We're gonna
commitment
have
to
to
my
show
marriage,
up.
bro.
Yeah. So
It
it's gonna be a
is.
whole thing, dude.
It
You
is.
need to be committed to this. We
Like,
need to. It'd be like an actual D&D group, dude. Where
it
we're
really
like,
would. Like, we haven't even played Demio together yet, dude. We were
yeah,
committed to that.
yeah.
Like maybe we should start with that before we get on Baldur's Gate.
All right, well, we'll try actually nail down a Demio night.
Let's get a Demio night going, right? Let's beat a Demio campaign and then go from
Yeah,
there.
dude.
You know
All
what I mean?
right.
I think
Start
that'd
small,
be
baby steps.
for sure. For sure.
Maybe go out on a date first before
Yeah, right.
being full on
Maybe
to a campaign.
Exactly.
All right, yeah.
See, these are the conversations you have to have with your friends, though, man. These games are so
Yeah.
damn long.
Yeah, people are having the real conversations, dude.
Yeah, right. You'll
Friendships will be
find out who your
ruined,
real
marriages
friends are now.
broken up, dude. It'll be all over fucking Baldur's Gate 3, dude.
Exactly. Like my wife and I were playing through Divine Divinity, and we stopped midway through. We both forgot where we were in the story, and it was just too daunting to go back and start
Figuring it
again.
out.
We were
Like,
just
where were we?
we'll start the second one, and now Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate's out. We're looking at each other like maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's a long road.
It's a long road for sure. But so
Yeah,
you said,
like everything
Baldur's
else.
Gate. Is it because?
Yeah, what
just
about
because
you,
of the
man?
girls?
What are you thinking about?
I'd like to say Baldur's Gate. I think Baldur's Gate is where I'd have most fun. But for me, let's say I'm playing it by myself. I'm being honest with myself. Final Fantasy would be for me because of the action game route that they've taken the story. And they're back in the what's funny is I typically don't like medieval settings in my games, right? But
Yeah.
Final Fantasy hasn't done medieval in so long, and that used to be their bread and butter. I'm interested in to see where they kind of take it. So that actually intrigues me when that's something that doesn't usually intrigue me. And the fact that that game was so tumultuous as well in development, I'm just curious to see how it's shaped up. So
Yeah, it seems like that's Square Enix's whole
but it's been doing well review
shtick now, dude.
So
Like all their studios seem to be fucking having trouble. I don't know.
But they put out bangers though, outside of Forsaken.
Yeah,
banger.
I think it's because from the outside looking in, from what I've heard and seen in interviews, it seems like what they wanted was like a video game making like engine RPG engine. And the first team like fucking stumbled out of the gate doing it. They just like patchwork together something because they had to ship. So they're like, all right, yeah, what we did was we built like the environment stuff. We got all that working. And they're like, great. What about like stats and, RPG shit? And they're like, yeah, we couldn't quite get that to like build in like spreadsheets. So you just have to kind of manually do everything and fuck off. And so then the next team who grabbed it was like, fuck, do we spend time like fixing this? Or they're like, nah, just make your next game. So they've been like cobbling together like all based on like a fucking shaky foundation because they didn't want to like spend more time just like rebuilding.
fixing that.
And
Yeah.
that's, it's fair. Like you said, they've been making banger after banger, but like it's been like a cascading problem because of like the studios.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You
like
need to.
that's a top level problem, right? Because the top level was like, we need to do this. And then the people on the ground were like, all right, we need to get this done, but also meet every milestone for making an actual video game. It's
True.
like,
True.
bitch, do you want us to make an RPG engine for like our games moving forward? Or do you want us to make a video game? Because those are two different things.
True. True. True.
And so you ended up with like a weird middle ground where you have like something that kind of works but doesn't quite work. So
Yeah.
I can see why there's fucking problems in their development, dude.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True. And I think too.
Also, we're kind of to blame too, all of us. Yeah, fucking said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like if they're like, we need to take 2 years off, fuck you, you're not getting the game. Everyone would be like, where's our new? You said that the Final Fantasy game would be out this year.
Yeah.
You promised Square Enix.
I've covered this on this pod too. I don't think you should announce games until they're ready to go alpha or gold. Well,
Damn straight.
That's all I'm saying, man. Don't like they're announcing games way too early. Like Cyberpunk was announced when it was a dude's idea on paper.
It was a concept, dude.
Like, what the fuck?
Somebody scribbled on a napkin, dude.
What the hell?
Like,
the game.
Someone was taking
Anthem?
a shit and like took some toilet paper and like Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And they're like
BioWare announced Anthem when it didn't have an engine or they didn't know what the game looked like either. Some dude watched Iron Man and was like, "This would be a cool ass Iron Man game," and then made a fucking concept video. Like what the fuck you guys doing? Like that's on you, but that's way too early to announce a game. So yeah. That being said, man, and as far as spectacle,
it's never too early to build hype.
I think that's one of the things I'm looking forward to too.
You got some of the best music, some of the best cinematics in the game.
I think I'll be more moved, and I think I'll be more engaged from the story from Baldur's Gate. But I think as far as like just general like bombastic spectacle, like no one doesn't like Final Fantasy, so that's why that's my pick. But I don't think any of the picks are bad. One of the reasons I didn't pick Starfield is I think that there's too much hype surrounding it, and I think most people are preparing themselves for disappointment.
Yeah, I don't know. Bethesda's always ship jank, so it's like, I feel like neither one of us are like, oh yeah, that new Bethesda banger, dude.
Yeah, especially because we haven't seen anything about the story of the game, and people have been talking about like exploration and stuff like that, right? What about the overarching story? Like that
they showed some slices.
Yeah, but was it interesting though, right?
No,
like,
it seemed very fucking boring. Yeah. Like, it seemed very linear, very boring.
People are interested in like exploring the world and like the vastness of it. But yeah, like you gotta engross me at some point, man. People are hoping that it's the new like moddable Skyrim or the future, and it very well could be. I hope for all the Bethesda game fans it is, but just the gamer in me, man, the dev in me is saying prepare for jank. That's all it is.
I don't know. I'd be more interested in Star Citizen shipping finally than
shit.
At least they've like been making stuff, dude. Like I don't know. It hasn't been good. It's just as janky and broken, but at least it's all been the same game moving forward.
Yeah.
Whereas Bethesda's like, how can we break a different type of genre, different type of game?
Right. So let's do this.
Did you see that fucking interview somebody did with Todd Howard, and they fucking made him like question like his whole fucking existence, dude?
I feel you told me about this already.
Yeah, they're like just talking to him, and they're like, so yeah, this game's coming out. So when's the next Oblivion, Skyrim? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And they're like, you're like 60 years old, so you only have like maybe 2-3 games left in you if they're all coming out every 5 years. And he like just like fucking looks off into the sky. It's like, bro, that's fucking in bad taste, but also kind of true. But man, I don't think you like it's not a great way to phrase a question to somebody, dude. Be like, you're gonna die, dude. Like, what are you doing with these shitty games, dude? Like, figure it out.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
I think that just the heads of all the studios are getting up there in age, and like I've said before on this pod, and for those of you who have had conversations with me about gaming and life, our medium of choice for entertainment is still very young. We are in the golden age of gaming currently.
Just a baby,
and this is like film before it. you know, like our era of boom was the 16-bit era, really, like the arcade era. You know, that was our, you know, our Gone with the Winds, our Wizard of Oz's, our, you
Dang.
know, movies like
Or
that where it
Wazas,
just,
dude.
you know, it had just huge impacts, you know. And now we're in like that weird 50s 70s era where, you know, like they had just the remakes of the black and white movies, but we have new stars and things like that. Now we're, let's say we're in like the 90s right now, you know, like movies, like for where film is, gaming is like in that same spot where it's still young enough where we have people who started gaming still working on stuff. You know,
Yeah.
we haven't truly crossed over into the next like era, like
The
truthfully
next
and
generation.
creatively, right? The next generation
Yeah.
creatively. I think like technology and stuff, yes, but as far as creativity, um, we still have like the old heads still working on things. So
Yeah.
you know,
I don't know. It seems like at least everything's becoming more accessible in a
yeah,
way, as far as like the technology for younger people to get involved and like learn shit and get things done, make games. We see with your, different studios that are coming out that are just small indie teams. With your Battle Bits being the prime example right now.
true,
Your Dark and
true,
Darkers being caught up in lawsuits right
yeah,
now.
yeah, true,
It's the guys who did that roguelike game Hades.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a smaller group.
Yeah, yeah, doing great, and they're doing a sequel now, and yeah,
Yeah.
it looks great.
All right, man. I think
All right,
that's
man.
it.
I
It's
think that
time.
does it. Just because my son came walking in the
Came in.
room.
He's like, "Hey, man, what are you up to?" You're
Right,
like,
right.
all right, man.
But yeah, man. For the Cabo Wombo podcast, I'm Mr. Gimpy. That's
Chipmunk. Like,
like,
share,
share,
subscribe.
subscribe. Oh, look at
We
that,
out.
synced up. We out of here. All right, everybody.
Peace. Yabish.